So, as I already said, we had lots of good lessons, like we learned about the servant girl that told Naaman how to heal, right? Go find the prophet. We learned about the shepherds. What did the shepherds do? They told the people maybe Jesus had been born. All right. So we learned lots of good Bible lessons. But the story goes that one day a Sunday school teacher asked the little boy what was his favorite Bible story. If I was asking you what your favorite Bible story was, what would you say? Anybody got a favorite Bible story? You have a favorite one this week? Well, this little boy answered, I like the one where everybody loves and fishes. Well, think about it. We've laughed this week. We've had fun this week, right? We learned about the little boy that had the loaves and the fishes, right? And I want to talk about him a little bit more this morning because he helped save the day. So let's set the scene for the little boy and his lunch. Jesus' fame was spreading like wildfire. Everybody was coming to see Jesus because Jesus' teaching was astonishing and miracles were being performed and they all wanted to know what was Jesus going to do next. And so his popularity was growing. He spoke with authority like no one else. And Jesus drew crowds because the people, whether they knew it or not, needed Jesus because they were really empty and they needed Jesus. So this particular day, Jesus is very tired because yes, Jesus was God, but Jesus was human too, right? Jesus was like you and me. You ever get tired? Sure you do. You get tired this week? By Thursday night, was everybody tired? Everybody worn out? You better believe it. All right, so we were all tired. Jesus got tired too. I mean, think about it. Teaching crowds of people every day. How tiring that had to be. People depending on him and performing miracles and all the things that he did. So Jesus decided he needed a day off. Right? Everybody need a day off once in a while? Yeah, we all need a day off once in a while. And so Jesus got in the boat with the disciples and he said, take me across the lake to a remote place where there's no people. Okay? Jesus loved people, but we all need a break. And Jesus did too. So as they were landing the boat on the shore, guess what they found? A whole crowd of people that have seen Jesus take off, and they walked around the shore of the lake and found the spot where Jesus was going to come. So what did Jesus do? Jesus say, "Oh, don't go away, I need a day off." Did Jesus say that? No, he didn't either, did he? He started teaching the crowd because he saw that they needed him. And so he recognized they had more needs than just a few. They had a lot of needs, a lot of spiritual needs. And so they came to listen to him teach. And he also knew that what was going to happen that day. And so we need to think about what was going to happen and the lessons that we can learn from what took place that day. So first of all, we need to realize the first lesson we want is that we need to have eyes like Jesus so that we can look for opportunities to care physically and spiritually for those in our path. Think about this. There are lots of opportunities around us. Are there lots of people that you know about Jesus? Are there lots of good things you can do to help people know more about Jesus? Sure. And so Jesus, looking at the crowd, saw that they needed their spiritual needs met. And we need to think about other people. Jesus forgot that he was tired. He forgot his grief because his cousin, John the Baptist, had passed away. Right? He forgot all about that, and he began to teach these people. We need to think about this from Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interest, but also to the interests of others. It's important to put others' interests more important than our own. Now, there's a second lesson we need to learn from this story. And that is that sometimes Jesus asks us to do impossible things so that we'll learn to rely on him. In John chapter 6 and verse 5, Jesus looked at Philip, and this is his question. He said, where are we to buy bread so that these people may eat? Now, this is a huge crowd, right? How big was the crowd, you remember? 5,000 men in the crowd, plus the women and children. All right, it's a big crowd. Where are you going to buy enough bread to feed 5,000 men? That was Jesus' question. Now, I want you to think about Philip's answer. Because the scripture says in verse 6, Jesus already knew what he was going to do. He already knew what he was going to do, but he asked Philip something that seemed impossible. Where are we going to buy bread to feed 5,000 men, plus the women and children? Where are we going to do that? Philip's answer really had nothing to do with what Jesus asked. Philip said, 200 denarii worth of bread would not be enough for each of them to get a little. You see, Philip didn't answer the question. He jumped to a different thing all of a sudden. Where are we going to get the money to do that? I hate to say it, folks, but we're a lot of Philips in church. When you start to say, we need to do, and they're going to say, where are we going to get the money to do that? We don't have that kind of money. Where's the relying on God? Or are there so many Philips in the church that really our motto is in money we trust? Rather than asking God how we're going to get things done. Jesus said in John 17, 20 and 21, I say to you, if you have faith like a grain of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. With God, nothing is impossible. And so when Jesus asks us to do something that seems impossible, what we have to do is rely on God to get it done. Lesson number 3, and this one's important. Never underestimate small things. Never underestimate small things. You think small things don't matter? Well, let me share with you an African proverb. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try spending the night in a closed room with a mosquito. Anybody want to do that? No. No, we don't want to spend the night in a room with a mosquito. But is a mosquito a big thing? Or a small thing? Small thing. Spark plugs are rather small. But the engine in your car won't run without them. Think of this. Microchips in your computer. They keep everything running and they hold billions of bits of information, but they're no bigger than the size of your thumb there. Small thing. Athletes lose a race by a hair. Or politicians lose elections by a vote. Or vacuum cleaners won't run because a tiny screw is missing. See, we can keep going on and on and on and on about small things that make a difference. And many times we don't think about that. Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said, here is a boy with 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. All right? 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. You see that picture? All right, that fish looked kind of big even in that picture. Anybody like sardines? All right, sardines. You ever seen sardines? Sardines are kind of small, right? About that long. They come in a little can about that big, right? They're little bitty fish. That's probably what the little boy had. A couple sardines or something that size. And when you eat sardines, you need saltine crackers to go with it. Right? That's about what the little boy had. The 5 barley loaves, about the size of 5 crackers. So think of 5 crackers and 2 little bitty fish about like that. That was the little boy's lunch. Now Philip had said, we can't afford that. And Andrew, totally opposite guy, right, says, here's 2 sardines and 5 crackers. Can you imagine what all of the other disciples were saying? Well, Andrew has flipped his wig. You know, what is he thinking? And Andrew probably heard what they were saying, and he added, but what is that among so many? Right? But they were probably making fun of him. But Andrew found the little boy. He found the little boy's lunch. The little boy was willing to give his lunch. And so what we need to understand is it's not important what size the gift was. What was important was who he gave the gift to. Right? So don't think, well, I don't have much. I can't do much. I can't offer much. Remember Jesus standing in the temple treasure, and the woman came by with 2 small copper coins and dropped them into the treasury box. And Jesus looked at his disciples and said, she gave more than the rest of them. Now the rest of them had dropped them in big money. So she drops in 2 little copper coins. Jesus said she gave more than the rest. Why is that? Because she gave everything she had. And she was relying on God to make something happen. The crowd was fed with that little boy's lunch. And how much was left over? 12 baskets full. Now how many more people they would fish? 12 baskets full of fish. Now, one interesting question. And I don't have the answer, but just one interesting question. If they didn't bring anything to eat other than a little boy, where did they get 12 baskets to fill up all that milk? Who knows? All right, lesson number 4. The fact that something is impossible is no excuse not to try. Right? The fact that something is impossible is no excuse not to try. I mean, think about it. We would be right there with the disciples saying, we can't feed this crowd. We don't have the money. We don't have the bread. All you got is that poor little boy's lunch. How are we going to do that? We'd be right there with them, right? But think, aren't you glad that real Bible heroes don't think that way? Think about it. What if Moses had thought like that? What if Moses had thought, lead the children of Israel out of Egypt, lead them across the Red Sea? How? If Moses had thought that way, the Israelites would still be in Egypt. That wouldn't be good, would it? What if Joshua had thought that way? What if when God told Joshua, go capture the city of Jericho, and Joshua looked at that big city with that great big wall all around it, and he said, how? I can't. No, he didn't say that, did he? He went to work. And did they capture the city of Jericho? Well, of course they did. Because they did what God told them to do. What if David had looked at Goliath and said, I can't fight him? No, he didn't think that way, did he? David walked out there with them 5 little stones in his bag and his slingshot in his hand, and that old giant mocking him and making fun, and David just said, I'll take care of you. Wound up that slingshot and let her fly. Did David take care of the giant? Sure he did. Why? Because he trusted God to get things done. We've got to trust God to get things done. Jesus told people to do impossible things. Think about the lame man. When Jesus walked up to the lame man and he said to him, get up, pick up your bed and walk. Can lame men walk? Well, that one did. What seemed impossible, Jesus told him to do, he trusted and he did it. How about when Jesus went to the tomb and called the dead man out of the tomb? Lazarus, come out. And Lazarus came out. Dead people don't come back from the grave. But Lazarus did. But if you stop and think about it, in a way, every command of God is impossible for us to obey. But God always supplies what we need to obey His commands. God is faithful. And whatever God demands, He gives us the ability to do it. So every miracle begins with an impossible problem. Try to find a miracle that didn't. And understanding that truth should give us a different attitude about our own problems today. Problems become circumstances engineered by God to bring us face to face with the things that we lack so that we can see His power is the only answer. So the little boy gave his lunch, and that multitude was fed. There's 12 baskets left over. So, reviewing our lessons here real quick. Do you have eyes like Christ and turn challenges into opportunities? Are you fully relying on Christ and ready to take on the impossible? What do you have, or what do you have that you can give to Christ, regardless of how small or insignificant it may seem? And are you ready to give up excuses and take the challenge, no matter how impossible it may seem? What are we going to do to help Christ?